Welcome back to the EUWCQ 2018. We are here with the top 32 deck profile with
Alex Moffatt.
Yep. And what did you play?
I played Pendulum Magicians.
Any shoutouts or anything like that before we begin?
Yeah, so shoutouts to our team, the Disciples. We're quite new. It seems we're doing alright so far. We've got 8 out of 12 of our members topping UK Nationals. Fortunately, I was the only one to top here at Euros, but we hope we can continue this trend.
Cool, awesome. Let's see your list.
Yeah, so I played Pendulum Magicians. It's got an extremely easy matchup against Strict Sky Strikers and Pure Sky Strikers, but it's got a very hard 50-50 matchup with Goki. So we basically built it to beat Strict Sky Striker, and then hopefully the side deck would deal with Goki going second. It's going second against a U-Link. As you can imagine with Pendulum, there isn't any outs in your main deck. So starting off with the extenders, 3 Chronograph, 3 Cerberus, and then 2 Jackal. And then 3 Abyss Active. So these are your main extenders, obviously that comes off the Cerberus. You just need to have a turbo card to summon an Electromite before you Pendulum summon in order to gain the most value. And going second, you want exactly the same thing pretty much. And the Cerberus is also like the best card going second. And then for the Magician engine, we played a very high Magician count. It's mostly standard, apart from maybe the free Oath and the second Black Fang and Pebble Poison. Oath is really underrated. It's one of the best cards because obviously everyone knows Harmonizing is the heart and soul of the deck now after Free Oath is gone. Basically, you needed to resolve a way to summon Vortex through summoning this, or you just need level 4 to make a Duello or another rank 4. And basically, if your Electromite gets Ghost Ogre or something, you want to send this and you want to have access to add it back without having to make another Electromite. So Free Oath is like amazing for that purpose, and it's generally just really good to have. It's a level 6, so you can normal summon over Ibli, which just has the same utility late game by adding back from the grave as well. And then the second 2 of these, I would never want to play Desires and play one of each. Both of them are needed. This is always your go-to higher scale turn 1, and this is insane for popping stuff for Electrum in turn 2 onwards. And the boost is how we OTK so easily. And this one, obviously, the second effect is good against Trickstar. It never came up for me, but it's really good to have for that purpose. And also, when you're playing into like Reincarnation and there's a draw in hand, you just want big guys to summon, and it's a nice type of game. And then, where's the rest of the So for the last Pendulum cards, we have the Darkworm engine. So again, fairly standard. 3 of these is still really good. It's really good to open for just adding the +1. It's not the best card to get drawed on because you're only adding a 0 scale that isn't really influencing the game. But at the end of the day, it's not the worst card. But if you can play around draw, normally you would send this off Dragon Shrine, activate your card where you want to draw something, and then if you get drawn, and you just wouldn't add off that. But I'd much rather resolve a Desires than resolve and add off this, for instance. And it's an easy side out going in game 2 and 3, but I'll probably keep both of these so I can hopefully resolve them. Then the last Pendulum card is just the one Hamster. It's an extremely good utility to have in your deck that you can send off Electromite. Both the normal summon effect. Normal summon effect isn't as prevalent now because you're only playing 1 compared to 3 before, so you'd have to have the right targets to actually summon 2 of rather than summon 2 Hamster. But the scale effect is still the best part of it. Adding back 2 Chronos and pushing the damage is crazy. It's an easy side out as well, game 2 and 3. And the spells, 3 Desires. Always back and forth between 2 and 3 of this card. I chose to play the third, me and Marcus Patel, who helped make the deck with me. We decided on the third because realistically there's only about 35 cards that we actually want a main deck, so we just had to add more cards to fill up to the 40. And obviously this draw 2 is broken. The Desires part can be a bit peaked sometimes, but normally you can play around it sometimes. But if you're not facing the draw, not fearing the draw, you can always summon the Darkworm to the gate, for instance. And the spells, so 2 Dragon Shrine and the 1 Foolish, very simple. It's the best card to open, but any more than that would be too much. And then the last 2 spells in the main deck is 1 Stargraph and 1 Pendulum Call. This is really good, especially against pure any card that has targeting. So you'd happily summon a Naruto or your jackals, and you know they would be able to be targeted by Widow Anchor or Afterburner. It's amazing in the grind game as well. Basically, it's just any magician, and then every turn which they have to deal with it, otherwise you're going to be plussing definitely. And then the one Pendulum call. It's a bit weird at 1, but it's still a really good card because you want to search out the good magician cards like Oath Dragon, Harmonizing. It's just a bit dodgy to play too many of because of the obviously Ash and Droll. Droll isn't bad at all. Like if you activate this and they draw you, that's fine because they lost a card and you have a negative tool and you've got cards to facilitate pluses through Droll like Oath Dragon, add him back. I might play 2 in the future, but 1 was really good. I think I only activated it twice. It didn't get Ashed either time, so I was very happy when I did that. Extra deck.
Yeah.
3 Electromite. The third does come up a lot. I would never play 2. And then the other links with just the Zephyr and the Underclock. So the Zephyr obviously for the combo with Vortex, and then this as 2 reasons why I would play this is 1 because a lot of the time you want to make 2 Electromite before your Pendulum Summon in order to send the Jackal so you have your 3 negates. And then when you do that you don't have you summon this before you Pendulum Summon. And then in order to link away the Absolute to summon the Vortex, you'd have to link for this.
Right.
And it's also really good for pushing for games.
Yeah.
And the ranked 4s, so Trapeze, Tornado, Kangorg and Dweller. Dweller is amazing at the moment versus Goki. It's very much it storms the game ahead for you. Kangorg is exactly the same for any version of Sky Strikers. A lot of people forget that it's not once per turn. So I had someone use an Afterburner on like a Vortex. I changed that. They had a monster target for me to chain it to, and then they also changed the Widow Anchor. So I just chained it again, target the monster. So they just lost 2 cards and then destroyed their own monster. And then these 2 Tornadoes obviously standard, just for like you always want to have it in your deck to outcast a spell or whatever in the grind game. And then this one is a slightly different, I guess. It's just pushing for OTKs. The 1 turn actually made it.
Attention team captains for the team tournament. Bearings for round 3 are being posted. Attention team captains for the team tournament. Bearings for round 3 are
It's quite hard if you don't know where your opponent is playing. So obviously if it's Goki this, if it's Trickstar, Trickstar Strikers, Crystal Strikers, you want to go for this. It does help when you know what your opponent is playing. So sometimes I did have to take the odds on making one or the other and it didn't play out. But it's fine if you make this and you're playing Trickstars because you have 2 other negates. It's hard for them to play through that and your big border monsters, so having this isn't that bad. Okay. And then staples, so obviously this for the Vortex combo.
Yeah.
And the Dorito is insanely good for, obviously good going first, but also good going second to basically force them to use scapegoats if you have 2 level 6s. So say you have 2 level 6s and 2 level 4s. They either have to use scapegoats right then, or you make this and they can't activate it, or that forces them to do scapegoats, and then with the level 4s you make this and get all the goats. And this is obviously an amazing SK enabler as well. Then the other synchros, really standard, and it helps break the untargetable Gregi board. And then Omega is again really good against Trickstar variants. There's a lot of awkward hands you make where you have to kind of make this. And you say if you want to add back both and then normal summon the Harmonizing again, it's the best way to do it a lot of times, because obviously you're not going to make these in turn 1. And side deck, so 3 Denko and 3 Red Reboot. So this is the main cards going in against Trickstar Sky Striker. So game 2 and 3 I would never choose to go first in that matchup, or Pure Sky Striker. I'd always side in. So these 6 for Trickstar Sky Striker, and then for Pure Sky Striker I'd side in these 6. So again, Trickstar obviously just shut down all the reincarnations if they don't standby phase them, and if they do standby phase them, then you've got this. And just it goes, obviously it's just amazing for getting them. It's, even drawing 2 isn't that bad, because in the grind game, if they out the first one, they're still going to set a card the next turn, and then you flip that on them. And then for the Pure, this obviously just shuts down all the back row, so you don't have to, you can literally play around the back row. Because Widow Anchor is actually, it can be quite difficult to play around. I know it's a Pendulum deck, there's so many options you have, but in some hands where you really need the Electrum to resolve, so you can fix your scales and stuff, so you just want to shut off Widow Anchor. It's a lot easier to play around the hand drops, so I find, than it is the back row. So if I deal with that, then hopefully I can go off and kill them. And then for Goki, so we have the free seer mode. and then the 3 kaiju, and then also the 2 infinite. So we wanted no cards that lost to either Draw by the Grave, Call by the Grave, or the Dolphin. These should have really been Ragens, so they couldn't have Dolphin away because Firewall was 2/5. If they're Dolphining when they've got a Firewall up, they can take this out of hand, but they can't take out the Ragen. The Kaijus are insane though against the Goki board because none of them have 4 monsters in their main monster zone. Obviously have the 2 Mermaids and then 4 Nightmares. So if you Kaiju away the Mermaid that's on top of the Tri-Gate, you deal with the whole board in terms of negation. So the Tri-Gate's dead, you have your extra monster zone to use, and you still can normal summon. The only thing about that is if they have Italy, but we still have all like loads of level 6 monsters to tribute summon over the Italy, so then let's use the Kaiju. And the Sim mode does the same thing, but it deals with most of the problems. So once you Kaiju the Mermaid, if you can make a Nista deal with like the Goblin or the other Mermaid, depending on what your hand is, you should be able to at least clear all their monsters, and they generally have no follow-up plays after that.
Your Cowboy.
And yeah, the last card, Cowboy, obviously, for the time rules, but also not just for the time rules, but game 2 and 3, I would always have the option, depending if I was playing against Goki, I'll side out this, put this in. If I was playing against non-Goki, I'll side out this, put that in. There's actually one game where I forgot to do that, and I attacked and my opponent was left on 800 and I had 2 level 4s, I could have made this with the game. I still won that game, but it would be a lot more style points if I did it with Cowboy. And then yeah, the main reason is there for the time rules.
Thanks for the list, and good luck for the future.
Thank you very much.